The world is fast and asks a lot from us. As introverts, we know that we need to recharge. We know that we need time and space in order to be our best, to show up as our best. But it's often very difficult to find the time and space to do that. And also, your personality type requires specific types of recharging mechanics. And if you don't know those, you're not going to get that quality of rejuvenation that you need. So first of all, I want to make sure that we all understand the necessity for recharging and for tapping into our dominant function, whatever that is for your personality type. If you're an ITP, then it's introverted thinking. I'll go through some of these more later too. If you're an INJ, it's introverted intuiting. If you're an IFP, it's introverted feeling. And if you are an ISJ, it's introverted sensing. All four of these have different ways of rejuvenating. But if you don't do that, if you aren't allowing yourself to show up with your superpowers, then the world suffers. Not just you, not just your family, but the whole world is impacted by you being unable to play as big in life as you could. And I know for a lot of us, it's just like, I just want to get through the day. I just want to stop with all this chaos and madness. I just want to be by myself. And that's good. It is important to have those base level needs satisfied first. And then there's also the desire to bring that out into a larger purpose and impact the world. And a lot of times people, as I mentioned before, don't do the type of stuff that actually recharges them because they've read somewhere in some generic self-help manual that this is what you should do. Or they've taken advice from another personality type that hasn't really helped them. So I want to make sure that we understand what works for you, based off your personality type, to help you recharge and rejuvenate in a busy world as an introvert. So if you're watching on video, you can see this here. If you're on the podcast, you just gotta listen, or you can check out the video too. We have the 8 cognitive functions broken down into the life domains: logic, ideas, feelings, experiences, or if you're a type geek, thinking, intuiting, feeling, and sensing. But I call it the life domains because it's easier. It's easier to say as well. And it brings in some archetypal understanding of what those are as well. Because you know all this stuff. It's just a matter of applying it into your life. So the life domains can be split into 2 sides. You can have the extroverted side, which is more offensive, and you can have the introverted side, which is more defensive, subjective, personal, narrowed down, refined understanding within the introverted defensive side. Or the offensive side is breadth, AOE, action. What can I do right now to experience this thing? So for introverts, we all need some sort of alone time in order to recharge. But the type of alone time is different because what you are doing is different. Eben Pagan, one of my mentors since I was in high school, a guy that I've been following for a long time, says not all rejuvenation is the same. There are certain things that fill you up more than others. If you're an ITP, you are using introverted thinking, what I call the analyzing adept, as a character within your psyche's questing party, as your hero. And we need to do hero stuff in order to honor our psyche and rejuvenate. There's a time and a place for not doing our dominant function and doing the opposite and experiencing that as our dominant function recharges. But what happens most of the time is that we're just not in our dominant function in a positive way enough with intention. Like we do it, but we don't leverage it for rejuvenation. So ITPs, the adept is about internal logic and principles. As a character, some characteristics are analytical, objective, systematic, problem solving. INTPs and ISTPs. You are going to want to do something that is leveraging your logical mind, whether it's Sudoku or like engineering or programming, using your head in some way. And it could be even within sports. It could be, how do I like use my understanding of real world physics and balance and angles in order to play basketball better? Maybe that is your process of getting into introverted thinking, is that repetition of practicing your shot again and again and again until you perfect it, or drums or something like that. It is going to allow you to be in your dominant function in a positive way that is using your head, using the adept in a way that allows you to recharge. I could say just go out and be in nature, write a story, imagine fantastical places and characters, but that's not going to fulfill you as much because it's not tapping into introverted thinking as much as it's tapping into things that I like, introverted feeling, and maybe a little introverted intuiting too. Okay, so use what works for you, for your personality type, and you will recharge more. Introverted intuiting is what I call the mystic, the visioning mystic within your questing party. This is about insights and future possibilities, foresight, this visionary type character. It's an abstract thinker, insightful, again, foresighted, scrying into the future, seeing things in different ways. So you're going to want to leverage that in order to rejuvenate properly. The best way is probably to have sensory deprivation in some way. Lock yourself in your closet, turn off the lights or something like that, and just be with your mind. Allow your unconscious mind time to communicate to you in the way that is likely not happening throughout the day, or not happening as much as it could. You might get, sudden ahas and flashes of insight, but if you stop time and you allow yourself to process it, your unconscious mind will say, oh, finally, ding, like it's ready. And it'll bring you those delicious insights that you really need and you thrive on as a mystic, as an NJ. I have an INFJ friend who liked to go out to the garden, like this park type area, and sit by the fountain and just kind of watch the water, watch the fountain, be in nature without actively processing things, without actively trying to accomplish stuff with his mind, just allowing that space and time. Meditation is really necessary for NJs. From there, we've done logic, ideas. Let's go into feelings. Let's look at introverted feeling, the defensive side of feeling. This is the resonating soul as a character within your psyche. So the IFPs, INFP, ISFP. Introverted feelings focus, the soul's focus is on internal values, ethics. It's about being authentic, empathetic, value-driven, introspective, listening to your conscience, saying, does this feel right to me? Do all of my parts feel heard? For IFPs, you're going to want to create an environment where you can communicate what is going on inside, whether it's through art or music or design or writing, story, dance, some sort of expression of what is going on inside, or clarification of that. One amazing thing about writing and journaling is you get to understand yourself at a deeper level, and that is really necessary for IFPs. A lot of INFP clients, when they first start with me, we have to set up a routine to help them do more introverted feeling. And I know a lot of type geeks will say, like, you're telling people just to do more of their dominant function. That's dumb. But a lot of times, especially for introverts, we don't have that space. We don't create that space, or we don't have the permission to create it. And that's really difficult because then you start running on fumes. It's like, as an IFP, you're trying to be a healer, but you don't have any mana. You're just expended, and there's nothing that you can do. You just got to wait for that little bit of mana, and you heal somebody else, and then you're screwed. So it's important to do. And last, going down to experiences in the introverted realm, the defensive realm, you have the stabilizing guardian. This is the ISTJs, ISFJs. Introverted sensing is about sensing and capturing those sensory experiences and reviewing and recalling and reflecting over those. So it's internal past experiences, memories, facts even. It's detail-oriented, it's reliable, it's memory-focused, it's routine, it's structured, it's methodical, meticulous. There are some things that ISJs can do, like going over a routine that they often do, reflecting over a past event, allowing your sequential mind to just play that movie as you enjoy it and learn from it is really helpful for ISJs. And you could do something that you have an acquired expertise in, like playing the piano. You've played the song so many times, you just allow yourself to be in that experience as you try to reach that archetypal reflection of the experience, the best version of that song as you work to reconstruct it. It could be something like cooking, where you've cooked, you know the recipe by heart, and you're in your zone as you're doing that, as well as supporting other people. Maybe you're an ISFJ. It could be writing stories, reflecting over your past, journaling. What are the things that happened, 10 years ago? What was that event with that person? And just, going through that experience, again, allowing yourself to process it, to reflect over it, to learn from it, and to be in it, to revivify it, as we say within hypnosis. And as a quick tip for stress relief, we'll just talk about the introverted types here, but you can jump over to your tertiary function as well to get some quick stress relief. So you might need to listen to this again, but INTPs, you can go into introverted sensing. You can go into the guardian and do some sequential remembering. INFPs can do that too, because it's also the guardian. Okay, do something that has a physical comfort component to it. ISTPs and ISFPs, you can go into the mystic. You can allow your mind to travel to where it needs to travel, to reframe thoughts, to think differently about stuff. The problem is when we go there habitually and we get stuck in a loop. If you use it intentionally, it can help you relieve stress from the outer world. It's not going to be as potent as your dominant function, though. What else we got? INTJs, you can go over to introverted feeling. This is also true for ISTJs, introverted feeling. You can listen to your soul. Find something that is meaningful to you and allow your pursuit of that. As an INTJ, allow your mind to explore what is the core deep concept behind that powerful emotion. As an ISTJ, maybe it's where did you experience that in the past? And what are all the different versions of that emotion? What have you learned from those? Again, use it intentionally. Don't use it reactively, and it will serve you. INFJs and ISFJs, you can go into introverted thinking, the adept. Introverted thinking, the adept, this is internal logic, making sense of things, principles, and take some time away from peopling, away from dealing with other people, and do something, as I mentioned before, like Sudoku or a puzzle, something that just gets your mind away from people and allows you to focus on the idea as well as the clear understanding of it in a headspace instead of, again, in a heart space. Could even be something like processing an idea and really getting clear on it, like take it apart, dismantle the idea. Or it could be something that happened in the past, getting clear, like, is this really what happened? What did they mean by this? What is the true experience that happened? Again, use it intentionally, or it can be a slippery slope, but it is stress relief. So go into your real life right now, use your personality type to find the highest leverageable ways to rejuvenate and recharge yourself in this busy world as an introvert. List them out, circle the ones that have been the most rejuvenating, and do more of that. And if you don't know which ones are the most rejuvenating, then use it as an experience. Okay, next time I get stressed out or next Thursday, I'm going to try this one and see how well it worked. And let us know down below in the comments which worked best. Good luck, have fun. Peace.